We're often told a simple story about our past, that our ancestors were primitive, and that civilization was a recent invention that happened in a straight line. But what if I told you that across deserts, valleys, and hidden landscapes, scientists have discovered traces from thousands of years ago that challenge everything we thought we knew? Our journey begins not in Egypt or Mesopotamia, but in the heart of China, at a site that has baffled historians since its discovery. In 1986, workers digging at a brickyard stumbled upon something that would rewrite the history of the region. They had found the Sanxingdui ruins. What they uncovered were pits filled with thousands of objects made of bronze, jade, and gold, dating back over 3,000 years. Among them, towering 8-foot-tall bronze trees, massive ceremonial masks, and most famously, dozens of bronze heads with strange, otherworldly features. Huge almond-shaped eyes, blade-like ears, and enigmatic expressions. The craftsmanship was unlike anything they had ever encountered from that era. The scale and artistry were astonishing. Here is the enigma. The artistic style is utterly unique. While it shares some technology with the well-known Shang dynasty of the time, its forms and expressions seem to come from a completely different world. The people of Sanxingdui had mastered a highly advanced form of bronze casting, yet they left behind no written language, no royal tombs. Questions immediately arose. Who were these people? Where did their unique traditions come from? And, most perplexingly, where did they go? It's as if a powerful, artistically brilliant civilization appeared, flourished, and then, after burying their most precious objects in massive pits, simply vanished. Or did they? Some researchers now believe they may have relocated and transformed, their legacy continuing at the nearby site of Jinsha. But Sanxingdui itself fell silent, leaving behind only these haunting, alien-like faces to stare back at us. For our next stop, we journey to the arid, desolate plains of southern Peru, home to one of the world's most enduring and visually stunning puzzles, the Nazca Lines. Etched into the desert floor between 500 BCE and 500 CE, we're talking about a colossal collection of over 1,000 geoglyphs. There are massive geometric shapes, sprawling straight lines that go on for miles, and breathtaking depictions of animals: a spider, a hummingbird, a monkey. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend from the ground. Some of these figures stretch up to 1,200 feet long. Their true forms are only visible from high in the air. And that, of course, is the great puzzle. How did a culture, more than 2,000 years ago, design and execute these enormous figures with such precision? For decades, this question invited all kinds of wild speculation. But archaeologists now believe the how isn't the real mystery. The lines were likely created using simple ground-based surveying methods, with stakes and long ropes. The true enigma is the staggering level of planning, mathematical understanding, and social organization required to direct a massive workforce to create them. What was their purpose? Was it a giant astronomical calendar aligned with the stars? Were they ritualistic pathways meant to be walked in religious ceremonies? Or were they a desperate appeal to the gods for water in one of the driest places on Earth? The lines themselves offer no answers. Decades later, they remain a silent, sprawling art gallery, a testament to a people who carved their questions into the very surface of the planet. Coming in at number 3 is a monument that needs no introduction, yet it holds a mystery so profound that it continues to capture our imagination. Stonehenge on the Salisbury Plain in England is an icon, but behind its familiar silhouette lies a logistical challenge that borders on the impossible for a society that existed 5,000 years ago. The massive outer sarsen stones, weighing up to 30 tons each, were sourced from about 20 miles away, a monumental feat in its own right. But the real scientific puzzle lies with the smaller inner bluestones. Through exhaustive analysis, scientists have proven these stones, weighing several tons each, originate from one specific place, the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. Now, try to picture it. Around 2500 BCE, a Neolithic people, without the wheel or complex metal tools, decided to quarry dozens of multi-ton stones, haul them over mountains, across rivers, and through dense forests to a specific spot on a plain. This was a massive, multi-generational undertaking. What belief could have been so powerful to drive them? Was Stonehenge a center for healing, a temple to the sun, or a burial ground for the elite? We know from nearby sites that thousands of people gathered there for massive feasts, hinting at a highly organized and widespread society. But the central motive, the why, that drove them to achieve this astonishing feat of engineering remains one of history's greatest unanswered questions. Number 4. The Tomb of Tutankhamun. When Howard Carter unsealed the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922, he revealed a spectacle that has captivated the world ever since. But beyond the glittering gold, archaeologists uncovered a series of deep historical puzzles that challenge our tidy narratives about ancient Egypt. The first puzzle is the tomb itself. For a pharaoh, it's perplexingly small, more like the grave of a noble than a king. This has led many to conclude it was a private tomb, hastily repurposed after Tutankhamun's sudden death at just 19. That leads to the second mystery, his death. For years, a dramatic theory of murder captured the public imagination. But modern science tells a more complex, and perhaps more tragic story. CT scans show no signs of a fatal blow. Instead, they reveal a young man in poor health, with a clubfoot and suffering from multiple bouts of malaria. His death was likely the result of an infection in a badly broken leg. But perhaps the most significant mystery is the tomb's very existence. In the Valley of the Kings, a place systematically plundered for centuries, how did this single, treasure-packed burial remain almost perfectly intact? It seems its entrance was hidden by sheer luck, buried beneath the debris from the construction of a later tomb for Ramesses VI. Tutankhamun's tomb doesn't defy the laws of physics, but it does defy our understanding of history. It's a reminder of the chaos, improvisation, and sheer chance that shaped the lives of even the most powerful rulers of the ancient world. We've now arrived at our number 1 discovery, a site in southeastern Turkey that has completely redrawn the map of our ancient past. It's a place that challenges the very timeline we all learned in school. It's called Göbekli Tepe. The old story was simple. First came agriculture, then permanent settlements, and finally, complex religion and monumental architecture. Göbekli Tepe proves this timeline may be wrong. Dated to as far back as 9,500 BCE, it is one of the world's earliest known temple complexes. And here is the part that rewrites history. It was built by people on the cusp of the agricultural revolution. These were not simple nomads. Discoveries at Göbekli Tepe and the nearby sister site of Karahan Tepe show thriving settlements. The people who lived here quarried, transported, and erected towering T-shaped pillars weighing up to 20 tons, covering them in intricate carvings of menacing animals. They did this thousands of years before the invention of pottery or writing. They possessed a complex symbolic world and the social organization to build on a massive scale. At Karahan Tepe, archaeologists have even found realistic sculptures of human faces and incredible ritualistic structures. These sites pose the most fundamental question one can ask about our origins. What if the need for community and shared belief, the desire to build a temple, was one of the primary drivers that pushed humanity toward civilization, not the other way around? It suggests our ancestors were not the simple primitives we once imagined, but people with rich inner lives, capable of incredible feats of engineering, driven by something we all understand: faith. These ancient builders left us with puzzles written in stone and gold, reminding us that there are still deep mysteries buried beneath our feet, waiting to be unearthed.